student, today we are going to start our new chapter Saving the Tiger, written by Sekhar Dattatri. I was 19 when I saw my first tiger in the wild. In this chapter, I is the narrator and he was 19 when he saw his first tiger in the forest, and it was very bit as thrilling as I had imagined. And when the narrator saw the tiger first time, he was very excited. I was in Kanha Tiger Reserve in Madhya Pradesh, seated on a young tame elephant that was barely 6 feet tall. The narrator was in Kanha Tiger Reserve, which is situated in Madhya Pradesh, and he was seated on a tame elephant which was only 6 feet tall. The elephant and its teenage Mahat were being trained to track tigers by more experienced trackers on much bigger elephant. The elephant and its teenage Mahat. Mahat is a person who handles a tiger. They are trained to track tigers. Track tigers mean they are trained to find out the tigers. And there are much bigger elephants and trackers were also there in Kanha Reserve. I sat behind the boy Mahat and hung on a rope for dear life as the elephant struggles up a steep slope amidst thick bamboo. And the narrator was sitting behind the elephant with the help of a rope when the elephant was moving between a thick bamboo. Suddenly, a flash of orange caught my eyes. Suddenly, the narrator saw something orange. There, beside the narrow path, sat a handsome young tiger. The narrator saw a young tiger sitting beside the narrow path. For a heart stopping moment, our eyes met in mutual surprise. It was a heart stopping moment for the narrator. Narrator and the tiger's eyes met with a surprise. The tiger was so close that it could have easily leapt onto our elephant and pulled us down. The tiger was so close to the narrator that it can easily jump upon the elephant and pull them down, but it just sat there calmly. But the tiger was sitting very calmly, looking at us with curiosity, and he was looking them with surprise. Then, as my elephant gave a heave and a climb to the top of the slope, the orange cat disappeared from view. Now the tiger disappeared from the view of the narrator. Since that day, several decades ago, I have had many close encounters with wild tigers during my career as a wildlife filmmaker, but that first glimpse will always remain special. And after that day, the narrator met many tigers in his life, but it was a special experience for the narrator for his whole life because it was first time he saw a tiger. Despite its status as our national animal, the tiger is highly endangered and less than 2000 survive in our forest. In this line, the narrator want to say that we gave the tiger the status of our national animal. In spite of our national animal, tigers are in endangered and only Less than 2000 tigers can survive in our forests. According to Dr. Ullas Karan, a leading tiger expert, India's forests can easily support 3000 more tigers if we do the right things. This requires understanding what tigers need in order to survive and taking determined steps to remove the threats they face. And what is needed for that is a better understanding and some proper step to remove the threats which tigers are facing. Most of us are aware that tiger poaching is a major threat. Poaching means hunter. Most of us know that tiger hunting is a major threat. Hunters hunts tiger in the forest. Every part of the tiger, be it its skin, bones or body parts, is in high demand in China and part of Southeast Asia. Each part of the tiger, its skin, its bone, or its teeth, all are in demand in China and Southeast Asia, where the skin is used to decorative purposes and the bones and the body parts are used as ingredients in traditional medicines. The skin of the tiger is used for decorative purpose and its bone and other body parts are used as ingredients of traditional medicines. Although there is no evidence of the efficacy of tiger products in treating illness, but there is no evidence found that the part of the tigers are able to cure any illness. Deep rooted superstitious beliefs fuel the increasing demand, but there are some old beliefs which increase the demands of tiger parts. With tigers having been driven to extinction is most other Asian countries. Our national parks and sanctuaries have become the main target of poachers. In many other Asian countries, the tigers are extinct, so our national park and sanctuaries become the main target of the hunters. Two other factors worsen the impact of tiger poaching: habitat destruction and the poaching of prey animals. Means humans are destroying the natural habitat of tigers, and second, they are killing the animals which tiger hunts. Several hundred years ago, most of India was clothed in forests. It means several hundred years ago, India was covered with forest and tens of thousands of tigers roam the length and breadth of the country. And there are a large number of tigers in India. But as the human population increased and agriculture expanded, forests were felled to such an extent that today tigers are confined to the green islands we call national parks and sanctuaries. But as the human population increase and the agriculture expand, the forest become shorter and shorter day by day, and now the tigers are only limited to the green island which we call national park or sanctuaries. It means today tigers are only limited in national park and sanctuaries. Another threat, and one that often goes unnoticed, is the rampant poaching of prey animal. And the second threat which was often goes unnoticed is rampant poaching of prey animals. Humans kill the prey of tigers. By people living around our nature reserves using a variety of methods including snares, traps, guns, arrows, and poison. Huge numbers of deer, birds, and other animals are illegally hunted by people for meat. People who live near natural reserves, they used traps, guns, arrows, and poisons and killed a number of deer, birds, and other animals illegally. When prey becomes scarce in the forest, when there were scarcity of prey in the forest, it affect the tiger population and it affect tiger population. A tigress that can raise 4 cubs in a forest with abundant prey may not be able to raise even 1 cub successfully in a forest where prey is scarce. It means if the forest is full of prey, then a tigress can raise his 4 cubs easily. But if there is scarcity or shortage of food, she was unable to raise her single cub. If no new tiger get added to the population and if the ones present are hunted, the tigers in that forest will soon go extinct. And when no new tiger will added in the population and the present were hunted, the tigers became extinct soon, as they have in some of our reserves. Does this mean that the situation is hopeless? The answer is no. If the tigers are in danger, it means the situation is hopeless. The answer is no, the situation is still not hopeless. In some of our reserves, like Kaziranga in Assam, Corbett in Uttarakhand, and Nagarhole in Karnataka, good protection measures have resulted in thriving tiger population. There are some reserves like Kaziranga, Corbett, and Nagarhole in which we are taking protective measures to save tiger population. Although poaching has not been and can never be totally eliminated even in these reserves. Poaching means hunting is not totally stopped in these reserves. The large number of cubs that are added to the population each year more than makes up for the few that fall prey to poachers. Although hunting is banned in these reserves, but some illegal hunting is still continue, but these reserve protects our tiger from hunters.